Hi friends! So we're back to look at Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. We're going to look at the music video and we're going to look at the lyrics and we're going to see what does this actually mean. So, in the first scene, we see Axl arriving in town. He steps off the bus. He's there for the first time, it seems. It looks like LA or New York. People say LA. And immediately, right off the bat, he's greeted by a man who seems to be trying to sell him drugs or some sort of off-color thing, and he refuses at first. And to me, yes, it could be a literal deal, as I said before, a literal drug deal, but also you have the idea of the proverbial deal with the devil. So, given that as the video progresses, we're going to see that that's not actually too off base of where this video is leading. Maybe that is what it's trying to represent. And then, right immediately after that, he's passed by a girl who's dressed in not exactly appropriate clothes. And so basically you see that this place, wherever he is, this jungle, well, it's going to lead you astray. You know, there's so many different temptations that it's approaching him with. So then we go to the live performance of them, and we see that everyone's outfits are changed. So Axl is all dressed up in his rocker clothes, his hair's teased, and everything. So this is him, it seems, kind of after coming a part of the jungle, succumbing to the jungle. And then if you look at the lyrics during this time, it's very important when you read the lyrics to think about who is saying the lyrics and who they're talking to. So, it says, "Welcome to the jungle, we got fun and games. We got everything you want, honey, we know the names. We are the people that can find whatever you may need. If you got the money, we got your disease. In the jungle, welcome to the jungle, watch it bring you to your knees." So, it took me a while to realize that the words are coming from the occult elite that are taking control of the actors, taking control of the musicians, and they're singing it to Axl and to the band. They're really mocking them. And they're also telling them the truth. You know, they've got the fun and games, they've got all the things, drugs, drinking, girls, they've got all those things. But they say, watch it bring you to your knees. Because we'll see these things don't come without a price. And they are diseases, as we'll see later in the video. And the next scene, we see a series of TV monitors in the window of a TV store. And Axl is screaming, being tortured in all of the TVs. Slash is sitting in front of them, but he's not looking at them and he's drinking. So, to me, Slash seemed to represent us, the viewers, because, you know, we see what's going on, or at least them trying to tell us what's going on, but it kind of passes over our head and we don't see, and, you know, the whole theme with the occult elite is illusion, and the whole theme within these different Guns N' Roses video is illusion, because, you know, the wool's being pulled over our eyes. It's right there in front of us, but somehow we haven't been able to see it. And so it also seems very similar to what actually happens where, so Axl's being tortured on TV, Slash doesn't see it, but it's the same for us. We're watching Axl and we're watching Guns N' Roses performing. And that's really the same thing because he's doing that after being programmed, after being tortured. He's, you know, they're dancing monkeys. So we're in essence doing the same thing as Slash, and we're just kind of ignoring it. If anything, we're celebrating it, but then we're not seeing it for what it really is. So then you see these different flashes of TV screens that are showing violence, you know, police brutality, military movement and military violence, and you see more women. And so the lyrics at this point are, "I want to watch you bleed. Welcome to the jungle, we take it day by day. If you want it, you're going to bleed, but it's the price you pay. And you're a very sexy girl, very hard to please. You can taste the bright lights, but you won't get them for free." So I think that that's definitely shows it's the elite taunting and threatening Axel. And they're saying what's true, because it is true. They do, first of all, they do want to watch them bleed. They love to see people hurt. And, Axel got the fame, but he's going to have to bleed for it. He already bled for it. You won't get these bright lights for free. So, when you see the things on the screen as well, this is your first taste of kind of the things of the jungle, these are not good things that he's being shown, and we'll see in a minute what their purpose is. So, you have more lyrics in their live performance. There were no really pictures worth noting here. But in the lyrics it says, "In the jungle, welcome to the jungle, feel my serpentine, I want to hear you scream." There's many different interpretations of this line, of the whole song actually, but my interpretation is, if you think of the lyrics being the elite talking to Axel, talking to the performers and to the band, well, they're really saying, okay, we have this kind of hidden card, we have Satan. They're saying this is our serpentine, because a snake almost always represents Satan, especially in the Bible. And a snake is just a very, very large, very common symbol for Satan and Satanism. And that's really the center of the occult elite in Hollywood and MK Ultra even. MK Ultra actually is very satanic. And so, I think the lyrics really match that, especially "I want to hear you scream" after that. So then you see the TV monitors are actually set up, and those flashes that you've been seeing are from this scene where Axel is sitting in the bed with his, bandmates, with the girls, and doing whatever things. And he's watching these TVs, and already it's an odd scene because he's got these several TVs flashing things at very rapid speeds, and he's watching mesmerized, and this is very common, a very realistic depiction of programming. And what is he seeing? Violence and sex over and over and over again. And I know from real people who have been through MK Ultra, this is very common, and this is a very common way of being programmed to have these different desires and to have different thoughts and feelings about people, about the way the world works, and this is how they do that. So, and the way he is with the bandmates and the bed and everything, he's really, quote-unquote, living it up, having the rocker lifestyle, but this does not seem to be of his own volition. And I think that the lyrics are increasingly reflecting this, because it says, "Welcome to the jungle, it gets worse here every day. You learn to live like an animal in the jungle where we play. If you got a hunger for what you see, you'll take it eventually. You can have anything you want, but you better not take it from me." Yeah, all of these lyrics that, this is just, a lot of people think about the jungle, they think of the Hollywood lifestyle and they go, wow, this is really immoral. Yeah, it's really bad. There's always people around who, take advantage of you, but they have no idea just how terrible it is and just how literal it is with mind control and really this warping of a person and this dehumanizing of a person. Yeah. And so then you see just more TV images, more of Axel being, hypnotized by these TVs. And, but the interesting thing to note is that actually with all of the different videos I've seen of MK Ultra, not of MK Ultra, but of Guns N' Roses and their different music videos, Axel seems to be the only one who's being victimized, who's being tortured, who's being programmed. There's a few scenes where you could say the band members are definitely being taken advantage of, but it seems for the most part he's the main victim. because the rest of the band kind of stands by, or if anything, agrees with the handler and with the programmer. So then the lyrics are once again increasingly talking to Axel and mocking him and threatening him, and it's a really sad thing, you know. Watch it bring you to your knees. I'm gonna watch you bleed. And when you're high, you never ever want to come down, so down, so down. In the last part, where it's talking about going down, we'll see that those are incomplete lyrics, and we'll see exactly how that's completed actually in the last line of the song. So it does actually keep with the theme of them taunting him. You see next a series of scenes of Axel being strapped into this chair, being forced to watch the TVs. This is definitely hearkening back to MKUltra. This is just about as close to it in these videos as you're gonna get, you know. They just become less and less subtle. He's being tortured here. He's being literally programmed. Things intensify. Axel's struggle intensifies. We see just even the images being shown intensifying. And as this is going on, the lyrics say, you know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby, and you're gonna die. And I would say this isn't too far off of what they would say. You know, he's been taken. He's in the jungle. There's no going back. And in one way or another, he is going to die. So then you see the new version of Axel, who's not the performing Axel, but he's still this new version of Axel, watching the programming on the screens, watching what was being shown on the television screens as well. He shakes his head and walks away. So, yeah, this is definitely the new and improved Axel. He's, you know, all teased up and everything, and definitely of the jungle, in high contrast to how he was before with the straw in his mouth and all those sorts of things. And so he's seeing everything. He's seeing himself being tortured. He's seeing himself being programmed, and then all of the things that he was programmed with. But he shakes his head and leaves. And I thought there were two main interpretations to this. So one, he could represent us, the everyday viewer, who sees everything. Because they are giving all of it to us, but they're not putting two and two together. They shake their head, oh, this is silly, this doesn't mean anything, and they walk away. When this is a real cry for help, or at the very least, this is just putting everything in front of us. And I think the elite is always mocking us when they do this, because they know that we don't see it. Because we're not looking hard enough, and we don't take this seriously. Or this Axel could be, well, Axel now, shaking his head at himself for having not seen the cost and done it anyway. For having stepped off the bus and gone into the jungle, you know, because he didn't, on the one hand, as much as the jungle is warning him, he didn't see it. He didn't really take it seriously, and so he went through with it. He got programmed, and now there's no going back, and he's shaking his head at himself, going, why did you do it? You shouldn't have done it. Well, that's it for this video. It's honestly a very unfortunately sad interpretation of the video. And in one sense, it's the saddest out of all of the other Guns N' Roses videos that I've looked at on one hand, because it's just so out there. It's so they're putting everything so obviously for us to see. And it makes it so much worse because you just see what a slave he is, and you see how much the jungle just wants his blood, you know? These people, they're not at all out for his best interest. They want him to die. They want him to scream. They want him programmed. And as the last lyrics say, and it's going to bring you down. And it's a very sad thing. But I hope that this was helpful and instructive, and I hope this does give you some fodder to do research on your own, and stay tuned for the next video.